What's up, man?
There he is. You're just sitting there waiting, huh?
Just hanging, working. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yo, Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year to you. They shouldn't bark too much, my little dogs.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, cheers. This is a future sponsor of the show. Welcome to I Ask No One.
Rock
I know you
and
don't have any
roll.
Jaeger there. You got some.
No, but that's not a protein shake. I thought you were gonna have a protein shake.
All right, man.
Man, so what's going on? Where are you living nowadays?
I'm in Buffalo, New York, Western New York. Oh, fuck.
Oh, wow, that.
Yeah, I'm in Western New York, city of good neighbors, Buffalo. You ever been to Buffalo?
I haven't. I've never been to the state of New York, actually. It's on my list. I got to get up there.
No kidding.
Yeah, never been. Always wanted to go.
Yeah, you got to go pump up here. You were in, you're from New Mexico though, right?
Yeah, I'm from New Mexico.
Okay.
And then the closest I've been is, I guess I've been in New England a few times, Boston, stuff like that, but I've never actually made it to New York or the city.
Well, dude, I tell you, you got a place to crash, you and your girlfriend in Buffalo, New York, man. It's
awesome.
One of the undisputed, underrated food towns in the world. So you'll get fed here, that's for sure.
Love that. Gotta love wings. I mean, I really like wings, but I bet you they're way different. The real traditional wings are way different than what I've eaten.
Yeah. Oh man, Duff's, 911. There's a lot of good joints, a lot of protein, a lot of places to get your protein here in town, my man.
Nice.
But
nice.
Dude, welcome to I Ask No One. It's really special. I usually have music guests and so on, but we got my all-time favorite bodybuilder here.
Oh man, thank you for having me. I'm excited. I follow your music stuff a lot. You have just a big adventure life when it comes to music. It's awesome.
Thanks, man. And thanks for checking that out. Yeah. Shit. Well, this is Douglas FRUCHEY, a personal fitness coach / bodybuilder, hailing from New Mexico and probably the widest back I've ever seen in person. Yeah, as you can tell.
Rock on. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, top of the every episode, I'd like to start off with a quote of the day, and a little fact of the day. So today is January the 6th. I'm going to be going live tomorrow on this episode. Okay. But Elvis, he would have turned 86 today, and David Bowie would have turned 74. I remember in 2016, the year he passed, he dropped his final, his 20th studio record, which was pretty insane. And just the writing on that, just incredible. I think that guy was more than a human being. There's some alien thing going on. He knew that his expiration date was coming up, and he released a record like that. But, and I just have to shout out to my dad's favorite Beatles record is Rubber Soul, that came out today in 1966. Do you like the Beatles? What kind of music do you play in your ears when you're just pumping up and you're just going after it, huh?
Oh man, I love music. I mean, I can't play music at all, but I love it so much. It's such a big part of my life. And I always John Lennon was always quoted saying, when he was asked what kind of music do you like, he always said, good music. And that's pretty much where I'm at. I listen to all kinds of stuff. I mean, I love metal, love rock and roll, love some of the old timey bluegrass stuff from, backwoods Kentucky. And of course I was from Texas, New Mexico. So I love country music. I'm a wide array of everything. Love it all.
Cool. Yeah. My girlfriend, she's a big time country music fan. What's your favorite kind of country? You like a lot of the new stuff or? Absolutely
not. Got to be like George Strait, Garth Brooks, Brooks and Dunn, Lyle Lovett. Oh gosh, all the old stuff. Chris Stapleton's is the real deal though. I think he's probably the best new time country guy around.
Yeah. I've heard of him. My cousin Eric in Pennsylvania, he's got all their records. That's cool. I was curious about what comes first to mind when you hear music. It's awesome you're a music fan. But the quote of today is Ronnie Coleman. I mean, I had some ideas of what to quote with you, but had to go with old Ronnie. There ain't nothing but to do it. There ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Yeah.
Right. And even when you're, you got to get to the gym, but you're not there, but there is nothing to it but to do it.
And I mean, it's true in life all around, no matter what. First step is just getting up and going to do it.
That's right. Now, what got you into powerlifting and weightlifting and bodybuilding and your craft that you're just so invested in? And I'll talk a little bit soon about what I've witnessed with you in Gold's Gym in Venice, where
Yeah.
we met, which is so
Yep.
cool.
Oh
But
yeah.
tell me about how you got started in New Mexico or Texas, huh?
Man, bodybuilding came to me. I mean, I always lifted weights. I remember very vividly the first pump I ever got, and it was, the high school gym. I was a sophomore in high school playing basketball, and I remember I got an arm pump to where it was like I couldn't push the panic bar on the door at school to leave school. Like it was like the door wouldn't open. And I remember since that day, I just was like, yeah, that has to happen to me every day. Like I just knew that that was what I needed. And then I had, I was in the Army for a little bit, got out of the Army, got into some trouble with the law, got out of that trouble. And in my recovery from that trouble, that's where I really discovered bodybuilding as a lifestyle. It just, but again, it was just like, I was always drawn to it. It was something that was inherent in me from the very beginning, that I just wanted to lift weights and feel that sort of physical exertion. But yeah, bodybuilding came to me after, as I was kind of rehabbing my mind and my life situation. I was probably 22, yeah, about 22. And somebody told me, they were like, you ever thought about competing as a bodybuilder? And I was like, oh, there's no way. I'm too skinny, too tall. I can never be a bodybuilder. And he was like, no, you're wrong. You can definitely do it. And so that was the start right there. Old guy
Wow.
in the gym pointed me that direction.
Yeah. Well, my dad says I should talk less about me in these interviews, but it kind of helps me with transitioning into questions, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
First time I got into it, 2004, it was like that same bug. I know what you're talking about, man. And it's just been blood and guts up until actually this past year, which I'll get into. I'm in a little transition. I'm getting more into like calisthenics and bands and so on. My body's starting at age 32. By the way, how old are you?
I'm 33.
You're 33. Okay.
33, yeah. Turned
Fuck yeah.
33 in September.
All right. In December last month, you were at the Olympia. And for my viewers, Mr. Olympia is the Super Bowl of all bodybuilding competitions. What were you doing there? And do you have a goal of maybe someday getting there yourself,
Oh,
winning the
absolutely.
thing?
I was at the Amateur Olympia, which is held in concert with the professional show, but it's a pro qualifier that is put on by the same federation that does all the pro qualifiers in the U.S. And it's just kind of run in conjunction with the professional show. And so I was there competing. I actually did 2 shows in December. I competed in Phoenix at the USA Championships, which is another national show, and then 4 days later, thanks to COVID and the craziness of the year, travel was crazy. But 4 days later in Orlando, I did the Amateur Olympia.
Wow.
Competed in both of those. Yeah, it was a wild week, really. I mean, it was like 10 days of travel. And after a year of being stuck in your house, it was a pretty nice refresher, I'll tell you what.
Shit, man. So, I mean, in a year like this, I mean, you got to prepare for those events. You got your own gym at your house, or you?
Well, obviously Gold's is closed. They've been closed since the pandemic started, really.
Yeah.
I've been so fortunate to link up with Dave Fisher he owns Powerhouse Gym, which is in Torrance, a little bit south of LA, not far. But he has respectfully disobeyed the orders and stayed open most of the whole time. And not only am I a bodybuilder that needs a gym to train in, but I'm a personal trainer that needs a gym to work in to finance the training to bodybuild, So my business also was able to survive thanks to Dave Fisher and the awesome people at Powerhouse. But yeah, it was very interesting to prep during this. I actually had to work out for a little bit of time in the middle of the night at a gym that I had the key to, so that no one would see, kind of like it was like Prohibition era bodybuilding. It's kind of funny. A lot of fun too to train like that. But yeah, I've kept it going. Obviously, the preparation, nothing really changed except for the fact that you got to wear a mask when you go outside, go to the grocery store, et cetera, et cetera. But bodybuilding is a pretty individual thing. So, we were able to get it done.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I was looking forward to most with asking you about that was that place in your head that you go to because you compete. I mean, this is your
Mhm.
life, this is your lifestyle, this is how you earn, and you know, you do your personal fitness too. But doing these amateur events, man, that's got to be pretty motivating to really just have that target and just to work towards that target. When I would be lifting in the gym, I was always stoked whenever I would see you in there. It just seemed you were always in there, man. You were just maybe snacking on something. You were shooting the shit with Charles Glass. We'll get into some of your other buddies. I mean, it is an iron brotherhood for those that
Oh,
don't lift. I
absolutely.
mean, yeah, you don't know the person, but there's the occasional fist bump and you know what's up. And I never even met you. You referring to me as Big Dog, and for a big fuck like you to call me Big Dog was pretty sweet. I had some vascularity going in my deltoids, and
You
must
were
have
in
been
shape, man. You worked good. You got in shape.
yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks. Consistency. But when I would walk into the gym, I would hear something like this. I mean, this is one of my heroes who I met in the gym. But this is Doug Faruqi, aka well, this is Jay Cutler.
That's
It's the gnarliest 27 seconds of YouTube, and we're just still clanking. Yeah, tell us about how you really you want to get bigger, you want to get stronger. Where do you go in your head when you need that extra few reps or whatever?
Oh, there's so many different places that I have used in my head across the years. I mean, a lot of times as I've well, I'll start like this. As I've trained for so many years over time, that area of my head has changed so much. I mean, yeah, you can see like in that video, there's a lot of aggression there and a lot of like, all right, motherfucker, let's go. We're gonna get this and we're gonna pick this shit up and we're gonna move it. And you get into that and you get angry. And then as I've kind of moved on through bodybuilding, it's much more focused for me. And so I'm really, a lot of times I feel as though I'm literally communicating with the muscle and really guiding my muscle through the exercise. The focus has changed so much, but that's what really matters, is emptying your mind of everything else that's going on so that you can focus on doing it, because you're never going to get every ounce of energy that your subconscious has if half of your subconscious is thinking about the chick that just walked by, or something like that. So that's really what I've developed is it's got to be the singular focus. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be angry. It doesn't have to be rage. It doesn't have to be anything necessarily. Just focus.
Yeah, yeah. Wasn't that one of Rock's slogans where he would just yell "focus" in one of his videos?
Probably, yeah. I think so. I think I do remember that, but it's so true. It's just so true. It's like, the moment we lose focus, especially, you picture you have 500 pounds on your back, you've done 3 reps, you need to do 2 or 3 more, your legs are starting to shake, your lower back's starting to hurt. Well, you must be able to slow your mind down from the fear of the weight crushing you and put your body in the correct position and execute in a safe and effective manner. And in order to do that, you have to quiet your mind from everything else.
Well, almost all the time that I would see you in the gym, you would be you'd be with a fellow by the name of Charles Glass, who is a former professional bodybuilder. Can you tell me a little bit about him? I mean,
Charles
Yeah.
is one of the few guys I know that has earned his nickname, which is the Godfather of Bodybuilding. I mean, to say that about a guy with such a lofty nickname is kind of presumptuous, but he really is. And in my opinion, he's the end all be all when it comes to living the lifestyle and helping others figure out what that looks like for them. I mean, he's trained everybody he trained Jay Cutler for a year. He trained, pretty much everybody that's stepped on the national stage and the Olympia stage has worked with Charles for a little bit. Not to mention his long list of celebrity clients, but he's been at Gold's for 30 some odd years. He followed me to Powerhouse so that we could keep working there. But yeah, Charles is he's my mentor. He's a coach of mine and a very good friend.
That's awesome. What makes him so special in the craft of bodybuilding and connecting with these big fuckers such as yourself?
It's
He comes from experience. right?
Yeah, it's almost 100% experience, in my opinion. I mean, he has an engineering background, which a lot of people don't think engineering and fitness go together. But if you think of the body as a machine, then an engineer's level of understanding can really be helpful. I mean, you never see any of Charles' people get injured very often. I mean, at certain times, but not very often. And Charles has a really good ability to understand where your body's failing and how to exacerbate that failure and then make it not a failing point anymore. And I think that's one thing that Charles does extremely well.
That's awesome. He had an eye patch on maybe last year or something. Is everything okay there?
Yeah, I mean, everything's okay. He's an old man, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Last year he had a stroke, a minor stroke, not a serious one that I don't even think he stayed overnight in the hospital. But what it did was it ruined a nerve in his eye, and so his eye would kind of go lazy and turn off to the side. If he covers it, then it doesn't happen. And so sometimes he'll wear that eye patch because it'll mess with his balance and stuff.
Sure. The true godfather of bodybuilding. And I follow him on Instagram, and I'll include a link below to his page. Just a really interesting guy. I used to work at the Hotel Bel Air in Los Angeles at Wolfgang Puck. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I lived 2 years in San Diego, then moved up to LA. And having my home gym at Gold's was pretty incredible. To live in Culver City, to go 15 minutes to the beach to the gym, and then to go over to the hotel Wolfgang Puck, and chasing my film and TV thing, and chasing the gigs, man. I've been, in that part of the world, man. Before pre-pandemic, you choose the weekend, you choose the week. You had so many bands coming through, and
oh yeah,
yeah.
I mean, the whiskey was one of the first places I went.
Oh really?
I had to go check it out, of course.
Now you're still in LA right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still right in the heart, right across the street from the Santa Monica Airport.
Oh, are you? Okay. What is that?
Yeah.
Marina Del Rey?
No, it's more Vista-ish. I'm like Rose and Centinela, so it's like just on the east side of Venice.
Okay. Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah.
What were you have memorable concerts you've been to in the LA area over the years that you've been living there?
I'm not a big concert guy. I actually haven't been to many concerts. I don't even, nobody was even playing at the Whiskey. I was just on Sunset and was like, I got to go check that shit out.
Yeah.
But I'm not a big concert guy. Unfortunately, I don't really stay out late. I go to bed early. I've been an old man since I was 20.
All right. Besides bodybuilding in LA, do you go out like ATVing? California and LA area, there's so many different climates and things to do. Are you the bodybuilding and the food regimen and
I mean, bodybuilding and food stays pretty consistent. I do like good burgers and stuff like that. So I've done that tour. For me, as far as going out and I love to hike, like the outdoors a lot. We like to go explore in the car, take road trips. That's one of the coolest things I think about LA is, if you can handle the traffic or you're willing to get up early enough, you could hop on the freeway and be in a completely different environment in 2 hours,
Yeah.
Whether it's going from the beach to the mountains to the city, one city to another, Chinatown to, what's that place up in
K-Town?
No, there's like that German Austrian up in Orange County. There's that one city that does like German Austrian stuff. They have a big city there. Just tons of stuff. You can always find something to do city-wise. And then, of course, like I said, hiking. There's plenty of that. My girlfriend has a cabin in Big Bear we go to about once every other month.
Oh, sick. Do you ever throw on a winter coat and be like a skiing bowling ball going down the hill or what?
No, I keep my feet planted firmly on the ground. But she loves to snowboard, so I'll go hang out, but not much for action sports either.
What's your girlfriend's name?
Danielle. Danielle's my girlfriend. She's a nurse, one of our heroes of this year.
Oh, yeah, Danielle. All right. How long have you been with Danielle, Dougie?
We've been together about 5 years. I mean, like every budding relationship with people in their 20s, there's some good on and off going on. But we've been pretty stable for about 3 years now, living together for 2. Yeah, she's good. We met in Gold's, as a matter of fact, on the glute kickback. She was building her glutes and just couldn't resist from talking to her. So I went up and got her number at Gold's.
All right.
Yeah, my homegrown local LL girl. Yeah, rock on. You want to go out to dinner? But she's a sweetheart.
Yeah, I think I've seen pictures of her. Is she the same one that Arnold hit on in Instagram?
Yes. Yes, that's exactly right. She is the one that Arnold hit on my Instagram.
Could you tell our viewers about that? I thought that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. We were in her kitchen cooking dinner, and she just opens up her phone and she gets a like from Schwarzenegger. So she goes, Arnold just liked my picture. And then before she handed me her phone, Arnold had liked 3 or 4 more of her pictures. And then, it was just like, man, Arnold Schwarzenegger's trying to hit on my girlfriend right now. I just thought it was hilarious.
That is amazing. I've seen him once in there, and everyone was surrounding him with taking selfies, these bros and everything. And I just gave him a little pat on the back, and just I haven't told you this before, but I spoke with him at the University of Buffalo. I pretended like I was a student and asked him about some of his 80s characters, Douglas Quaid and John Matrix.
Yeah.
Love those guys. But you've met him there before, and what are other celebrities that you've seen at Venice Beach Gold's at the Mecca?
Oh, all kinds of people come through there. I always tell people I love being at Gold's when Gold's was Gold's, because it's like that's where all the celebrities come to not be recognized as celebrities, or not be treated like celebrities. I really got the feeling from day one that that's why they liked it. Or maybe it's just because I'm not from LA, so I didn't grow up seeing celebrities, but it's just normal. I mean, yeah, I've met Arnold, I've talked with Arnold a few times, and he actually, before the shutdown, was coming in quite a bit more than when you were there. So it wasn't so crowded, he wasn't so crowded, but obviously Mike O'Hearn's in there all the time, and he brings with him several different celebrities. Charles trains a lot of celebrities. That's like 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson and I became pretty good friends because he works with Charles, and Magic Johnson, met him with Charles. Owen Wilson comes in all the time. He doesn't ever work out though. He just like walks in with his coffee from across the street and hangs out with some of the guys while they're working out. And then one that I always thought was funny was Carl Weathers. Every morning was sitting there doing cardio on the bike, and it's just like, man, that's Apollo Creed over there. You can go ride the bike next to Apollo Creed if you want. I always thought that was so cool.
Dude, Apollo Creed, Dylan from Predator.
Oh yeah.
I've shared this before on the show, Doug, but I'll share it with you right now. He was one of the first celebrities that I was like, all right, I'm gonna walk up to him and give him a little something, And I said, hey, I'm a big. He had some.
Yeah.
He's wearing the LA Times on the bike, It's like, hey, So he brought his. I just put him down, and I said, hey, I'm a big fan. Dylan, you son of a bitch. And I put my hand like this, quoting from Predator.
I can't wait to hear how he reacts.
And he put the headphone back in his ear, went to read the paper. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Wow.
I'm just a big fan. He's just like, thanks. So he kept reading his paper, but I made a mental note. I wanted redemption on that. So it was probably a few months later. He's on the tricep extensions. I'm in the middle of my shit. I'm like, all right,
here we go.
Do it. And he just did an acting workshop like the week prior. There's an ad for it I saw on one of these websites. It's like, hey man, are you doing any more acting workshops? He's like, that was a one-time thing, man. So I gave him a fist bump. We connected, and the rest of my life started.
That's awesome. I mean, you're the first guy I've ever heard of to actually get words out of Carl Weathers, so that's pretty good. Besides thanks or no pictures. He hates to be asked for pictures.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I've seen him straight up tell same situation. Walked up to him on the bike, the guy, and this was like a 50-year-old dude who really loved Rocky. Like, I mean, he really loved it, and he was so excited. And Carl Weathers just looked at him and said, "No, man," and put his headphone back in and he kept reading the paper, just like that. Yeah, I know. I was like, ouch, really? Come on.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Buffer, see him in there, and you never knew who you pump into. But hey, dude, when I was sitting down, dude, and we'd share the mirror. Anytime I would share the mirror with Dexter Jackson or some big fuck, just with you, it really always give me that extra push. And
oh, good, yeah.
It really helped out. Let's see here. Now, what are you benching right now?
Oh gosh, I really don't bench much. I usually incline press. that's my heavy chest movement. But, you know, I'll incline press close to, you know, I'll do the 405, four wheels for sets of 10 to 12.
Why incline instead of flat bench?
Because there's no such thing as too much upper chest. You've never seen anybody looked at him and said, man, his upper chest is just too big. It's always something we're always trying to develop. And so it's my main focus is filling out that upper shelf. And the bench press really for bodybuilding purposes, it doesn't do much for us because it's a compound movement in its truest sense. So your lats, your triceps, and your chest and shoulders all really have to work to be proficient in a bench press. There's quite a few ways to isolate the chest better. And so that's generally why bodybuilders won't mess with it too much. I mean, we do it, but we do it for the same reason anybody else does, just to see how much you can bench.
Now, do you go like week to week, how your body's feeling, like day to day, or do you have your clipboard and you're going Monday I'm doing this, Tuesday I'm doing this, Wednesday? Is it a day-to-day thing for you? Like if your chest, oh, I'm not sore anymore, so I'm going to jump into chest. Is that how it goes?
No, I have a set split. I don't have, you know, I'm not the clipboard guy that's writing it all down with my numbers of, okay, I did 4 sets of this today and I got this much weight for this many reps. It's not like that. I've never been a guy that wrote anything down as far as my training concerned, but I follow a split, you know, it's generally referred to as a bro split, you know, each body part separate all day, or one body part a week, or one body part a day once a week, and, you know, 6 days, turn around, start again. But I do make adjustments kind of, you know, I'll talk with my training partners and say, well, I want to work more on this. So for the next few weeks, we're going to add some triceps in with chest, or, you know, my shoulders need to come up a little bit. So we'll do shoulders twice this week and mix it up. But so like right in the middle of those 2 examples you just gave.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I remember training and there'd be big guys just like you would walk right up to me when I'm done with the set and they would give me little pointers, and there was no bullshit about it. And it's going back to that brotherhood thing. And,
absolutely.
You know, I'm trying to get back into the swing of things and get some consistency back, because I've fallen into some bad habits this past year, 2020. The gym was closed here in Buffalo, you know, for 6-7 months, opened and then closed. And I've just been doing a lot of running. I've been getting my cardio in pretty good. But what would you tell someone? What would you tell someone that struggles with emotional eating? If I'm hungry, I want to eat the fridge, you know, and it's just a really easy thing to fall into, and it's really tough to get consistent with it again. But the whole overeating, and I would ask you, I have my alarm set at 5:12 every morning. I don't get up at 5:12, man. I mean, Ronnie Coleman, you know, there ain't nothing to it but to do it. But what's some motivation for me or someone in this new year with new goals to not go for that extra pound of pasta a day, or slice of pizza, or just to get up in the morning?
Yeah. The best piece of advice I can give, and, you know, when you talk about, you know, your attachment to food and having that as the thing you crave, I'm a recovering drug addict, pretty hardcore. And I feel like when people talk about food, I remember the way I used to feel about drugs in some sort of way. Simply because I don't really have that attachment to food. And that's just the way God made me. Was, you know, I've never really eaten for emotional reasons, but I will say that I have some idea about what it feels like to have a crutch that we use, and then we develop the habit of using, excuse me. That's Frankie Beans back there going crazy.
What up, Frankie Beans?
Frankie Beans, they're hanging out. My 2 little wiener dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we see them?
So,
are they right there?
Come here. Hold on one second.
Sure.
You guys are gonna be difficult now, you bark.
Oh, you got your little wiener dogs there.
All right. So here we have Frankie Beans. My 2 little wiener dogs, they're wiggly. We got them right about in February, so they're almost a year old now. Brother and sister, litter mates. They're a lot of fun.
Cute.
I've never giving a woman a gift that she loves so much.
Ooh.
It's the coolest thing. That's probably the coolest part is she just loves them. So they literally are her children. But back to what I was saying, I feel like what we do with anything in life, like food is a good example of, we just eat until we're satiated and then we're done. And that kind of fills that need and stops our brain from thinking about the fact that we need something. We have to find a stimulus that fills that need that also is productive in life. So, I mean, training works for me in that regard. I literally, as I start to see the results from my fitness regimen, I think less about not doing it and I'm more motivated because I see the productive results. But we just have to find something like working out or like you've been running, stuff like that, that's gonna provide consistent motivation that's also productive for, you know, your goals. Whereas you know that eating an extra pound of pasta a day is not productive for a healthy lifestyle. So we have to find something that's going to make you not want to eat all that pasta. Well, I would say personally, if you committed to giving it that first week and then watched how you felt inside your body eating the correct diet, you wouldn't want to go back to the pasta simply because you've given yourself the time to see and receive that stimulus from the positive results you got from the diet. I don't know if that makes as much sense as it did before it came out, but
No, totally does. It's helpful. And you know, me and Ashlyn, my girlfriend, she's from New York City, just north of the city, and we have our pizza once a month. But she is such a good cook. You know, I was gonna save some leftover steak to snack on with you, but I ate it all last night. You know, so that is correct. It's like a vice.
yeah.
To find that other outlet to put your energy into instead of focusing so much on that.
Yeah, instead of focusing necessarily on the fact that you can't eat the pasta because you don't want, you know, like the negative side of, oh, I really want to have this, but I'm not going to have it. You got to go find something else to want that you're going to want more, and then you won't think about wanting the pasta in the first place.
I haven't been comfortable to take my shirt off in probably 3 summers. I mean, I'm lean, and as you get into your 30s, it's really easy to. It's easier to get that little waist bullshit happening and the
Hey,
chin.
I see it even on myself. I get out of shape much faster. I mean, I haven't gotten myself to have the extra waist fat yet in my 30s or anything like that because I'm, you know, a bodybuilder. But I will say that, yes, I can agree. You get out of shape a lot faster as you get older. Even I noticed that. Like a week off for me is, wow, better get back to work. Whereas I used to be able to go for a whole month and not even really notice it when I was a kid.
Dude. What's your eating habits like, if you don't mind me asking? Do you have like 8 meals or how do you split those up? Do you do it at the top of every week?
No, I cook every day for the most part, but yeah, I eat a regular regimented bodybuilder diet. And by this time, and I've been bodybuilding for going on 8 years now. So I don't really even know another way to live. I get really frustrated when I don't have my meals prepared for a day, or like, you know, if I travel and I'm like, I'm not going to take food, I'll be fine. It's like, for one, I can never figure out what I want to eat because I have infinite choices and I never ever have a choice. It's just, oh, that's the Tupperware for the next meal. Okay, eat it, you know? And so that aspect, like, I don't know how you guys do it, trying to figure out what you want to eat all the time. And then, you know, you got to go get it all anyway. But yeah, my diet is really pretty strict. And it's not restrictive. I eat plenty of food, but I eat pretty boring. And it's more for choice or by choice. Like breakfast is oatmeal with blueberries and some eggs. And then it's 2 meals with ground turkey or chicken and rice. And then it's 2 meals with salmon and steak, or salmon or steak and potatoes generally, you know. But just real simple stuff: steak, potatoes, eggs, a little bit of chicken.
All right, cool, gotcha. I gotta ask you, does a guy by the name of Mark ring a bell? He hangs upside down, usually wears a yellow beater,
Yeah,
ponytail.
of course.
Yeah.
Of course, man. I love that guy.
Is his name Mark? Do I remember that guy?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. His
Oh shit,
Instagram
he's a lawyer?
is one of the best technology patent lawyers in the world, ironically.
Get out of here.
No, yeah, he's very successful, wildly successful. Good friend of mine. His Instagram is Ratava.
I'm gonna write that down. Can you spell it out for me, please?
I think that's it. Ratava, and then some numbers. Um, let's see. But yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Dude, that guy.
Yeah, Ratava 9691. That's it.
That guy. I got a chance to say bye to a handful of people when I left LA, and that's one guy I was not able to say bye to. But we would connect, man. He's just an easy guy to connect with, a good spirit, very good listener, and he's just another. It's like it goes back to that brotherhood kind of thing.
Oh God, absolutely. I remember the first time I met Mark. He came up to me, gave me a huge, like the first time I met him. I want to say, like I'd never met this guy before. Came up to me, gave me an army salute, then shook my hand, which turned into an embrace, and said, "Thank you for being muscular," and walked away. But from that moment, I just couldn't wait to see him every time. I was so excited because he's full of that energy, 100%.
Before every single set he does the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, and kiss, looks up, and he gets after it. And hey man, if it's okay for him to do it, fucking, I have no shame. If I need a little help, I'll do it. And I remember I'd walk into the gym, it'd be daytime or nighttime, whatever, and he'd look at me and he would be way the hell over there in the gym. He would just look and he'd be like this, because I have a tattoo that he asked about, and it's I Ask No One. It's the name of this show. It's a line from Metallica's Wherever I May Roam, man. And he just, every time he'd see me, that's it. And I'll look at myself in the mirror, man, like after a set at the gym, and I'll just go like this, just for Mark. And I never knew how I'd ever get in touch with him again. So it's really cool that I'll hit him up and I'll share him.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, big Mark. Love that guy. Miss him so much.
Dude, he would hang upside down. He'd do the crunches, probably sets 100 or something like that. Nuts. But what are some of your goals for this year? Keep growing, keep pumping, keep humping.
That's everybody's goals.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, for one, I'm still chasing that pro card. Like in Orlando, I got second place. I lost by 1 point. It was tough. I mean, it was the best I've ever looked by far. I was super excited about that. But it just stokes that fire even more. So I'm, whatever national pro qualifiers that are scheduled, I'll be there. And that's goal number one. Business is goal number two. My business is growing rapidly. I'm working on getting up a website and starting some online training and some online motivational stuff with some ebooks. And so that's a big goal. Been working on that for a while.
What's the name of your business, and what's your target with that? Is it personal fitness, training, wellness?
Yeah, I mean, the name of my business is just Douglas FRUCHEY Fitness. It really is just kind of a broad scope. My goal in fitness has evolved into just simply helping people discover how strong they are through the gym, because I don't really feel like we really understand how much power we have mentally, emotionally, and physically. And watching my clients over the past 3 or 4 years in LA, I've trained a vast array of clients from all walks of life. And the only real consistent thing I can say about all my clients is when they're with me, they level up somehow. And I've just fallen in love with that process. And I've fallen in love with the process of helping somebody do that. Whether it's one-on-one, on a consultancy basis where we're really sitting down and going through your life together and, going through the training together and stuff like that, or whether it's just online. I mean, I've written some beginnings of some ebooks, but my target with that is just to put myself out there a little bit more, because every time I'm out there, I get good responses. People seem to really, respond to what I have to offer. And so I got to get it out there more.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Do you have an Instagram page? Well, your Instagram page is Douglas. I always thought it was FRUCHEY, but it's FRUCHEY.
FRUCHEY, yeah, no problem. Nobody pronounces it right the first time, and it's okay.
All right. Right on, man. Well, where's Danielle right now?
At the hospital, plugging away in the COVID unit,
Jeez,
yeah, she works works her ass off. And you know what's crazy? This is her first real job. She got out of nursing school, got a job at a hospital in like January, and then this hit. Can you imagine that? You put yourself in her shoes. I do that sometimes, and I'm like, I'd be so pissed. I'd be so pissed. And she just, with a happy heart every day, man, goes to work, saves people. It's amazing.
And sees the occasional Arnold Schwarzenegger notification in her phone, right?
Better not anymore. I had a talk with him about that. No, not really.
You got a go-to scene from Pumping Iron. I know they like to play Pumping Iron in Gold's Gym during workouts, just to look up there. It's pretty funny. But you got any favorite Arnold moments, movies?
Oh yeah, man, so many. My favorite scene in Pumping Iron has got to be when he's telling Louis to be quiet. They're back in the pump-up room, and Lou Ferrigno's getting pumped up to go on stage, and Arnold looks at him and says, "Shh, you must be quiet, Louis. This is like a church in here." He just always messing with Louis. And you know, just I mean, all of Arnold's stuff is golden. You know, who told you could eat my cookie? From the Kindergarten Cop movie.
Down now. I'm 25% Austrian, so I got it down. But
you have it pretty good. Yeah, you're pretty good.
This one's for Ryan. My twin brother Ryan, he lives in Athens, Greece, and we turned 33 in March. He's gonna be coming over, and hopefully, oh God, let's see. This is the plan. Get your ass to Mars, go to the Hilton, flash the Bubeck ID at the desk. That's all there is to it. Just do what I tell you. If you can nail that, I gotta go speaker here. If you can nail the son of a bitch, you fuck you and me. All right, that's it. That's one of my favorites. Total Recall.
Yeah, one of the best movies Arnold ever made. I love that one.
Fucking love it. But yo, this has been a good break for me. I'm in the real estate business, and I've never been busier. And
good.
Yeah, in this crazy ass environment, it's not going to be normal, they say, until 2024 or whatever. At age 32, to have found my career, just like your girlfriend has with her, is it's pretty special, because what you do for your work is a very, very big part of who you are.
Absolutely.
24/7. It's you got to remember too, for a job that I'm my own boss, and like you are too, just to have that alone time for you is really, really important. And
that's why I get up at 3 a.m, get on that treadmill, so I have my alone time.
No shit. 3 a.m, huh?
3 a.m. Clients start at 4, so we rock and roll.
What time do you go to bed?
As early as possible. Usually close to about 8 o'clock. Sometimes a little earlier if I get lucky, but you know, especially because now nothing's open. It's not that hard. You know, day's over. Go to bed.
Yeah. Oh, good for you, man. But I'm gonna rewatch this. I'm gonna include in the description a little table of contents, and I look forward to rewatch it. But man, I wish you health and happiness in the new year, and staying safe. Of course, with Danielle, changing lives and saving lives. But let's stay in touch, man.
Hey man, you got my info. It's so great to be asked to come on. So great to see you. I hope you get back to LA soon, and we can get a workout in. I'd
love to do that. I like to end my show all the time with stay happy, stay healthy, stay hungry, stay heavy, stay hungry, like the Arnold movie, right?
Yep, I love it.
Stay heavy.
Rock and roll, man.
Fucking keep rocking, man.
Love it. Have a good one.
Peace.
Bye-bye.